Watching Private Matters. I'm Max van Praag. This show is about awakening many people to deeper intimate relationships, and today's episode is about transparency. I'm speaking with a couple who has decided to make their relationship public. Talking to Juna and Brendan. They have a relationship blog in which they share their relationship with the whole world. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Juna, this is a really exciting it's a really exciting thing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we feel so excited about what we're doing, and also a little scared too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we've known each other for a little over a year now, and we entered relationship in September.
Yes.
And we're just getting ready to. We just launched our blog, DailyRelationshipcom, and Juna, maybe you could tell them more about it.
Yeah. So the vision behind this project is to use issues that come up in our relationship, or even potentials, things that we are wanting to develop, and feature it candidly on a video once a week and share with the audience how, what tools we use to navigate our way through that issue and how that ultimately generated greater connection in our relationship. And so it's basically a fantastic source of inspiration in our relationship to transform issues into creativity and also be of service to other couples.
Yeah, it's based on authenticity, discovery and being of service. And I have to tell you, Max, when we first were talking about this idea, it took me a little bit to land on it and say, am I willing to share all of my most intimate relationship discoveries with the world? And we ultimately decided, yes, that was a great thing to do.
And it's still very scary to do it.
Yeah. Right, and this is called DailyRelationship.com.
Yep.
Yes.
Like after the Daily Om.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Daily Om.
I've heard the Daily Om,
and Daily Om, the daily meditation. I have a friend who has a thing called the Daily Nothing. She helps people do nothing.
That sounds like fun.
That's fun, yes. This is Daily Relationship.
Mm-hmm. Daily Relationship, yeah, because every day, things come up in partnership, and it's about how you handle those things, how you navigate those things that ultimately allows you to create greater connection. And so what we're mostly interested in is creating healthy relationship for ourselves and supporting others and doing the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Creating healthy relationship for yourself, and could you give an example of the type of thing you share on the blog?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, one thing that came up in our relationship during the holidays was we were actually at my parents' house visiting my family in Arizona, and we were making love, and suddenly I had a huge wave of sadness remembering a former partner during our lovemaking, and I immediately wanted to stifle those feelings and that wave of sadness. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm making love to Brendan, and now I'm thinking about a past lover, and I could feel these tears wanting to come. And I remembered one of our core relationship agreements is to being authentic and sharing whatever comes up whenever it arises. And so I just burst into tears, and I shared with him that I was missing this former partner and having a wave of sadness and love. Mm-hmm. And we actually just took out the camera right then and shared what we discovered.
I've seen it.
Yes. Oh, great. And it was edgy. Oh my God, we just had made love, and we're taking out a camera, and we're sharing this discovery about how it's totally okay that we both have feelings, and that different feelings arise for both of us at different times. And so that's just one example of turning something that could potentially be an issue into actually a creative project, and supporting other couples and learning about the power of transparency.
Transparency, being real. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so it's like a journal. This is like a public journal.
It is.
Every day you might share what's going on. And your blog launches tomorrow?
Yep, on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we launched it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What is your vision, or do you have a vision of where this will take you, or what will happen?
Yeah, we're open to wherever this takes us. What's most important is that we want to be of service to ourselves and to other couples.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the foundational intention that we bring to our work. But yeah, as far as where it goes, we don't know. We're thinking about offering workshops, relationship workshops, and using our tools and actually getting together people in person. It's one thing we're thinking about.
One thing that I do already is I coach individuals and couples and support them in having thriving, long-lasting relationships. And so this also feels like a phenomenal tool to refer to my couples. Hey, check out this one video on this particular issue.
Oh, it's also a resource.
It's a
sources of education and tantra or whatever people can use. You have links, a list of links.
I think we'll be including some more links, but yes, we have some right now. And the other thing that we're actually going to Bali in 1 month, and we'll be hosting our first daily relationship workshop while we're in Bali.
Wow!
So this feels very exciting.
Great place to get started.
Yeah.
Do you have people signed up?
Not yet, but we will.
You will.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know it. Yeah.
You already have clients.
Yep, I have clients, and it just feels like there's a lot of people who are hungry for this kind of information, and in a real world kind of way. Like, I feel like what Brendan and I are offering is not just this like, hey, here's what you need to do to fix your relationship, follow this and this and this. We're like, hey, here's the nitty gritty. Here's something that came up in our relationship. Here's a tool that we used. This is this basic, simple tool. Try this on, play with this, have fun, and see what happens. And we also include a section in our website where we want people to post their comments and feedback and what they discovered.
What if things got really uncomfortable? Let's say you have an agreement to be monogamous and Brandon has an affair and you're completely, would you post it, would you think you'd put that on the blog?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the foundation of this site is to be authentic and let people know exactly what's going on in our relationship. As far as having an affair, I mean, that's one of our core agreements that we would never go off and do that without checking with each other. We'd actually much more be real and say, hey, listen, I'm noticing that I'm feeling the desire to go outside of our relationship. Let's talk about that. Let's work with this. But ultimately, yeah, the goal is to show people exactly what's going on in our partnership, and that's where the tools come in. So if we're stuck, in something that's going on,
this is just simply an example.
Yeah.
Because what I know is that we can't really control the process of the relationship or the marriage. And somebody said your marriage is none of your business. In a way, you're on a journey and you don't really know what's going to happen. Something may come up in a way that you don't expect. I mean, that you don't consciously intended to. That could be really painful or really uncomfortable, and you have no idea what that is now.
Right.
Having an affair is just an example. It could be something else.
Exactly.
That would really rock your boat, and then you will probably have to share things that you may be embarrassed about or ashamed about with the world, because that's the intention you set. We're going to be transparent.
Absolutely, and that's the power. That's the transformation power of what we're doing. It's about showing up real and revealing everything that's happening.
And it doesn't mean that it won't be terrifying.
Yeah.
That's one thing that, we've had the experience when we take out the camera and we're like, really? We're going to share this on camera?
Yeah, right in the middle of this?
Oh,
yeah.
God. I don't want people to see me like this. And that feels like that's, as Brendan said, the transformational power of what we're doing is we're willing to show up real with whatever's happening with the intention that it is of service. Because these are things that people go through.
Yes. Yeah, the previous interview was with a woman who helps people who have cancer to feel sexy and to have sex. It's also something you don't plan on. So something might happen that really impairs your ability to be intimate or to have sex, and you'll have to grapple with it and deal with it when it comes up.
Yeah, there's a million possibilities that could come up, and yeah, for us, it's just about showing up and revealing it.
Do you agree with the statement, your marriage is none of your business, in a sense that that you are not really in control of things?
Well, we have a phenomenal relationship agreement, which is that we want to rest into our love and connection, and we have an idea of what we want to create together, but we're open to the universal flow. We like to say we're open to an ocean of possibility for what can occur in our relationship. Because what it does is, some things that could happen that cancer or whatever else. That's, you know, maybe not a great experience, but there can also be a lot of positive experiences that we're not seeing right now that we can open into. So it's about opening up that space and allowing, the universe to live through us and see what is our highest purpose together as a couple on this planet.
I love this man.
I mean, the example of the affair, of course, you wouldn't easily break an agreement, but if one of you falls in love with somebody, that's not something you can control, actually.
No.
Well, you know, we actually just had a video the other day talking about sexual attraction for other people and how we celebrate that in our partnership. So we know that we're sexual beings, and that, you know, as we're going around the world, we're going to see other attractive people that kind of light us up. And actually, it's not revealing that that's what's true for you, that, hey, I had sexual feelings. That's actually what creates the block in our relationship and being able to flow together.
Have you had experience of being jealous?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Yeah,
and how have you worked with that?
Well, this is great because this is the last video that we did just last week. I had an experience where I saw an attractive man, and I noticed that suddenly I didn't want to look at him because I was just like, oh no, I'm noticing in my body I feel really attracted to this guy, and I don't want it to affect Brendan. And we have an agreement to transparency. And so what happened for me was, after this interaction with this guy, I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm just going to actually play with opening the flow of that attraction. And it's not that seeing this man actually, it's not that I had to summon feelings about this man or summon his image, but it's actually that when I have attraction for somebody, I have feelings that ignite within my own body. And so what I did was I opened the flow of those feelings in my own body, and I felt them. And then I came back and I shared it with Brendan. Hey, I saw a guy, I had sexual feelings arise in my body. I felt the feelings through, it felt wonderful, and I want to be in relationship with you. And for Brendan, it did bring up some feelings for you.
I had some fears that came up, and I was like, wow.
Were you present to the situation when this happened?
Was I there when this happened? No, I was not there. But she told me about it, and I did notice that I had fear.
Did the man express an interest?
He is in relationship with somebody else, and he didn't express an interest, no. And the difference is that we have an agreement not to fluff the energy between, if I have attraction for you, I'm not going to be like, hey, Max, you know, fluffing that energy. I'm just going to notice, oh, Max is an attractive man, and I'm having feelings within my own body. So.
Yeah, and the key is to celebrate it. Like, hey, that's going to happen, and let's be totally open and honest about this. And so, even though I had feelings, those are just feelings that I can, you know, take some time and be with. And ultimately, I celebrate Juna for having that attraction. And, you know, the same thing occurs for me. You know, when I went out one time, I was at a yoga class, and there was this beautiful woman, and I came back and said, hey, Juna, you know, there's this gorgeous woman, and I noticed I felt attracted. And she was like, hey, great, you feel sexual feelings, you feel flow. So. So that's okay, and we feel that that's important in all partnerships, to be able to, you know, to be open about those things. And that ultimately creates greater connection between us.
And ourselves. That's one thing that I see in the couples that I work with, is that they get in partnership and they actually cut off their attraction for other people, which totally cuts off their sexual flow. And then in turn cuts off their creativity and their connection with their own bodies. Right. And so our wondering is, like, how can we be in a totally healthy, safe container in this relationship and have sexual feelings and totally be attuned with our sexual attraction for other people? That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you had the chance to mentor people already together? People have come to you?
Yeah, well, we've had some, even just casual interactions with friends and other people that we run into. We just end up, you know, sharing, you know, what's true for us in our relationship. It all comes from, this is what's true for us, and this is what we've noticed, and what's really supported our relationship, and then that being of service to those other people. Yeah. So it's less about us kind of teaching or mentoring, and more about just, hey, this is what's real and true in our relationship.
Yeah. And we haven't formally coached together, but I plan to. Sounds like a phenomenal way to step into a next level.
Are you planning to write a book?
Yes.
Together?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah, and basically what Juna and I are up to right now is that as we've gotten into partnership and as we connect more deeply, we made a commitment that instead of focusing on drama, which happens a lot in relationships with couples, to take that energy that we would normally be reserved for drama and actually use it towards creativity. Yes. So how can the two of us be of most service on the planet and bring together all that we have together? And so even with this business, you know, I've been an entrepreneur, and I have, you know, a lot of business skills that I can bring to the table in helping, you know, birth this company and get it out to as many people as possible. and we both trained in the Hendricks Institute. And Juna's an intuitive, and she's just remarkable in so many ways.
Which institute?
The Hendricks Institute.
Oh, Hendricks.
It's a place
yeah,
to be trained.
Hendricks, yeah.
Gay and Katie Hendricks are relationship experts, so I've been really fortunate to run into them in our lives. But anyways, but just bringing together the two of us and just seeing what we can create together is exciting.
Yeah, and the desire for drama is still quite a compelling one, I must say. I noticed the strong inclination on my own part to steer our relationship into drama and disconnection every single day. And so it's just been like this kind of constant shift.
It can be like an addiction.
It is an addiction.
Yeah, negativity, drama, and we get used to it. And if it's not there, you would feel very uncomfortable in the beginning.
Yep.
It's really something to make a commitment to not do.
Well, what drama is it's adrenaline. And adrenaline is the most addictive drug on the planet. There's nothing that's as addictive as adrenaline. So that's something that's a daily practice. It's not that we've completely eliminated drama out of our relationship. We certainly deal with that ourselves. It's about what do we choose to do with the energy instead. Yes. And that's what we're up to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make as many agreements as you want, but there's also the dance of energy, the masculine and the feminine. What evokes, how do you evoke most of her feminine? I mean, you can explore that. When do you love her the most as a woman? When do you think he is more masculine? What can you do to bring that out more? I mean, there's this whole dance.
It is.
Yeah.
And then we're always changing and growing, so it's just it's a constant dance. That's evolving.
Yeah, particularly the two of us, we're constantly reinventing ourselves.
We are.
It's actually one of the things I'm most attracted to with Juna is that she's always keeping me interested because she's showing up new almost every day.
So that's where the mystery.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a mystery.
The mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what
keep
keeps
him on
everything
his
fresh.
toes.
She's showing up different every day. Yes.
Yeah, and I'd say that's probably true for me too. But yes, that's part of one of the things we love about our relationship. Is that there's always constant excitement and discovery, and that's what DailyRelationshipcom is doing, is sharing all that discovery.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there a place for humor on your blog?
I feel like
Absolutely.
humor is essential. Anytime I actually am in a place where I am like, no, Brendan, this is serious. This is actually serious. I am stuck. I'm actually, I have lost sight of the bigger picture. And so that's one thing we incorporate constantly is, all right, he just pokes at me, he's like, Juna, are you able to laugh at this? And I'll be like, oh yeah, okay. So humor is essential. Yeah. And that's why we like to play with the things that come up for us, like how exaggerate. Okay, right now you're feeling angry. How can you make that bigger? How can you really just go for that? Okay, Juna's now feeling like a victim. How can I just crumble into victim and make it even bigger? And that's something we've also really learned from the Hendricks Institute is how to play with everything that comes up and be able to laugh and enjoy transformation. That transformation doesn't need to be this big challenge and a lot of work, that we can play with things as they arise.
Like in that video that you watched where we're in her parents' house and had just had sex, it's like just having some fun weaving in, like, I hope Juna's parents don't see this. Because we're announcing that we had sex in their house, or me just saying, like, yeah, I felt angry because I really wanted to have sex tonight.
Well, you're about transparency. Hey, they may see it. Yeah,
exactly.
They did actually 3 days ago.
They did. Yeah, it's just serious.
And I have to say, there's a lot of wisdom in your mission about transparency and being real. Couples should do regular practice where they share things that they have been withholding. As a matter of fact, there is an exercise like that, the withhold exercise, where you sit down and you share what you have been withholding in order to just open the flow, because anything that we withhold is going to get in the way of our intimacy. So this real wisdom in just, hey, sharing, open.
One of our favorite relationship activities is flirting.
Yeah.
And so
unedited flirting.
Anytime something.
How does that go? Can you demonstrate?
Well, just when we were parked right below your place here, we were sitting in the car and he looked at me and he's like, okay, Juna, what's going on? Time to flirt. Yeah. And I was like, ugh. And first I just let it like, ugh, let noises out, because I don't even know what's going to come out.
Yeah.
But blah, and then I just start letting words move, and somehow just that process, it opens my pipes, it clears and opens me into flow.
Yeah.
And so it's like whatever I say, it might not even be true or real, but it's just like it needs to just be expressed. And that has been one of the blessings of this relationship, is both of us giving each other the space to just free form express whatever's going on for us.
You've made a commitment to each other,
Yes.
to be partners. You may or may not get married, but you've made a commitment to be partners. Is your commitment to each other above anything else, or what if you would find out one day that it would no longer be in her highest interest to be with you?
Yeah, well, what's most important to me is the love that I feel for Juna. And so if there was a time where I felt that Juna would be better off in her life without me, then I would welcome that opportunity for her, because that's how much I love her.
As painful as it might be.
As painful as it might be, as much as I love her, and that's what I would want for her. So like I was talking about before, with being open to the ocean of possibility, we don't know what the outcomes are going to be. What I do know is that right now, here in this present moment, we love each other, and that we're inspiring each other, and we're growing in so many ways. Me and my career and my creativity and passion, her and her career, creativity and passion. So that's where I want to keep my attention and my focus, but ultimately my love is what's charging all of it.
Yeah, and I feel exactly the same way. I want what is best for this man, and if that includes me, great, and if that doesn't include me, I'll have feelings, but that's what I want. Yeah.
What's best for him?
What's best for him? What's best for me? What's best for our relationship? That is what I want.
Yeah, and that's a bold thing to say and do and step into. It's we call it resting into the space of the unknown, and the unknown is a vast space.
And my sense also is that the more that I'm coming into myself, I'm realizing that we're always in the space of the unknown. We just disillusion ourselves with this idea that we have control, but we don't. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
What would you say to couples that are watching this and that are struggling right now, that are really struggling, not knowing what they should do, whether they should stay together or split up? It's just a lot of suffering.
Well, the first thing that I would recommend is, if you're stuck, one of the best moves that I've found to get unstuck is to appreciate. And so, the research shows that there's actually a healthy relationship has a 5-to-1 ratio of appreciation to criticism. So just actually stopping and saying to your partner, here are the things I'm appreciating you right now, will actually stop all of that energy that's going, that kind of stuck drama, whatever kind of energy, and that will actually open you up to the truth that wants to be shared between you. And so even just shifting into that space and getting real with yourself and feeling that flow of appreciation. It may not be that you want to be in partnership, but at least by doing that and getting into a space of your strength and appreciation, you can make decisions from that clear space as opposed to a space from drama.
Yeah. And the thing that I would say to couples who are feeling stuck right now is, I would ask, what hasn't been said? What are you not sharing? What could be said and expressed right now? And sometimes people don't even know. And so taking a moment just to let that free flow of words come out, to blurt, to express, and maybe not even do it to your partner. Sometimes I just get in my car and I just yell and scream and talk and let all that move until I uncover what's really going on for me. And that, to me, seems like a great starting place for a person in relationship to get clear about where they're at and what they ultimately want. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, the power of authenticity, the power of appreciation.
Yeah.
What is hot to you?
What is hot?
What is hot? Oh. Well, Juna looks pretty hot right now. That's what first comes to mind.
What's hot to me is when Brendan fully owns his masculine and values himself. Like, actually, the biggest turn on is not anything he does physically, like in sex or anything, but when he is valuing himself, I am like completely, insanely turned on. And that's been something that you've been stepping more and more into lately, and our sex has been incredible.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
It's obvious. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great, yeah.
Congratulations on being together and on your mission and purpose to open this blog and to share your life with many people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that's I'd like to just share real quickly about what's hot for me beyond Juna looking hot right now. What's hot for me is I'm watching Juna continue to step into her purpose in this world. And I'm seeing her power and her strength, and I'm seeing how the way she shows up. And that actually to me is one of the biggest turn-ons. I've been looking for a partner for a long time that can meet me in the creativity of my life, and someone that truly meets me. And I feel that I'm met by Juna. And so we're constantly supporting each other and expanding into new levels of aliveness and joy and creativity. And so that's what's the hottest thing about our relationship. And as we flow in that space, that's where the awesome sex and everything else comes from.
Happens.
DailyRelationship.com. That's where you can follow those people and you can write to them and talk to them, right?
Yeah, comments.
And you will attract the most amazing people into your lives through this. A lot of people will be drawn, people you can help, people that inspire you.
Yeah.
It will be amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show. And
Thank you, Max.
this was Private Matters. I'm Max van Praag and we did a show on transparency with Juna and Brandon. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with other topics.
Si vos escrevem, no estàs escrevent. Si vos esquecem, no estàs esquecent. A teu dia que vou voltar. Si vos escrevem, no estàs escrevent. Si vos esquecem, no estàs esquecent. A teu dia que vou voltar. Saudades, minha terra, São Nicolau. Saudades.